Every single year at E3, it feels like the show floor is just absolutely flooded with fucking stupid AAA cash-ins that no one cares about. But there are always a couple really good games that get everyone excited. And that's what I want to talk about today. The most hype games of E3 2018, cutting away all the bullshit and just talking about what looks amazing. Jumping right in with the freaking classic, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, the first Beyond Good and Evil is absolutely a masterpiece. Everyone loves that game. So now I'm making this brand new one that looks so different with all these wacky, zany characters, and Jade looking like a freaking snack coming back into the game. It's wild. But you know what else is a classic? Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. That game, everyone loves that game. Your mom loves that game, your dad loves that game, your sister, of course she loves that game. But now they're making a brand new Spider-Man game for PS4, and it's freaking wild. Spider-Man's getting beat up, he's like, ah, shit, I'm gonna die, and then he looks up and he's like, wait, you? And then to cut to the screen and it looks crazy, and there's so many villains, and it's hype. And it looks like it's going back to that whole PS2 thing of swinging around on buildings and exploring, and it looks really, really good. But what if Spider-Man isn't your thing? That's too kiddie for you. You know what? You need it. You're too cool for that. Well, what about Daemon X Machina, this crazy mech game where you're flying around in this desolate wasteland, piloting this giant mech with swords and guns, and you're killing all this shit, and it looks sick, and at first the trailer, to be honest, looked kind of bad. However, after seeing the Nintendo Treehouse and seeing actual gameplay, whew! This might be one of the better games of this year, which is strange, because it looks sort of like an indie, but it looks amazing, and I cannot wait to play some freaking mech-killing goodness. And if you're even edgier than that, then Devil May Cry 5 might be for you, because holy shit, this game looks amazing already. They've only shown a little bit of it, but there's so much going on in it with all the combat. They brought old Dante back. They're still just as cheesy with the dialogue. It's great, and there's this new girl character who made Dante this new arm because he got fucking cut off by a demon, and it looks mad. But if even that is not edgy enough for you, if you are the absolute edge lord, if you go to school and you look like this, then Rage 2 might be the game for you. Ooh, Rage 2 might be the game for you. Oh. Gonna go off myself. Be right back. At first I was like, Rage 2, seems a little edgy for me. Seems a little too edgy for me. Maybe I'm not gonna pick up this game, but after seeing some gameplay, and you're just zipping around shooting guys, it's fucking mental. And then all these guns, all these weapons, you have all these raiders, it looks wild. And it actually seems like it might be one of the better single-player shooters of this year, which, by the way, there are a lot of. But let's take a step back. What if you're not the edgy crowd? What if you're preppy little Tommy going to school, going to preschool every single day, has his hair combed to the side, wearing his nice polo that his mom bought him at JCPenney? Then Kingdom Hearts 3 might be the game for you. Everyone's hyped about this game. I know I was hyped about this game. And it's just full of so much charm and whimsy with all the combat. And that's what all the Kingdom Hearts series has been about, having this whimsy of having the Final Fantasy, mythical sort of themes with this Disney charm and childlike wonder with all these expansive worlds. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is taking that and just running with it, going with all these bigger worlds, with bigger, more spacious areas, with actual things to do, and crazy special moves that look like they're actually from Disney movies, like professional animators scripted these scenes, but that's just how the gameplay is, and it looks absolutely amazing. But speaking of absolute whimsy, Ori and the Will of the Wisps looks like a crazy freaking 2D platformer with so much style and fluidity in the movement and in the combat that it looks gorgeous. And the first game was already kind of a classic on its own. So making a sequel that looks even better, it's gonna be already one of the better games of this year. But if you're on that new shit, if you're on that grind to find some new stuff to play, then oh boy, there are some titles for you. All these companies that have been doing the same shit for years and years and years are now going and doing some crazy stuff that they've never done before. From Software, known for making the Dark Souls series and the Bloodborne 1 game, they're now making Sekiro, a new Dark Souls-like game that takes place in Japan. And though we have gotten games like this in the past with Nioh and some other titles, this is crazy because it's actually from the people who made Dark Souls. Also, you have a grappling hook, and that's just, Game of the Year already. And if you remember a little company known as CD Projekt Red, just made some small titles, nothing too big. They're now working on Cyberpunk 2077, going from making The Witcher 3, a medieval times crazy rogue dungeon, mythical fantasy style game, to the future with robot strippers and fucking cars that fly. It's madness. It's crazy how they can go from just medieval times to the future and still make it look like it's gonna be one of the best games ever made. Similarly, The Elder Scrolls is a game made by Bethesda, medieval times. Now they're making Starfield, and though they haven't shown any gameplay of it yet, I am very confident that this will be one of the better games of next year. It's coming out in 2019. And it's a similar case where instead of going again into medieval times and into this fantasy realm, they're going into the future, except this time instead of being just in some crazy city like in Cyberpunk 2077, you're in space. And I am extremely excited to see what the Elder Scrolls devs are gonna do in space. Speaking of space though, Starlink looks like what No Man's Sky wanted to be. It looks like No Man's Sky for kids and way better. You're exploring all these different planets, looking at resources, looking at these different creatures and scanning them and figuring out what they're all about and killing monsters and doing all this stuff all while you're in this beautiful spaceship that you can customize. It's a Toys to Life game, so you can literally pick up your figure, put on whatever shit that you want. If you want a fucking machine gun on your freaking starship, you can do that and just clip it on and then just fly around killing shit. And I knew that I was gonna like this game already just from everything that I've heard about it, but the trailer, they brought in freaking Star Fox into this. They have a Star Fox figure, they have a little Fox McCloud toy. It looks insane. It's a Nintendo Switch exclusive, so you can only play with Star Fox on there. And there's also some Star Fox exclusive missions to explain how Star Fox even got into this game and how he got into the lore. And it just looks like a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to play it. Although $75, it's a little bit much, but you know what? I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, Ubisoft. But all these amazing games have just been the appetizer for what is now the main course, Super Smash Brothers. There's been so much debate about whether this game was going to be a port, a new game, something like Splatoon 2. It is almost a completely new game. It's similar to Splatoon 2, where they use the same assets to make a brand new game. But man, all the mechanics have been changed. They're adding some air dodging shit. They're doing some crazy stuff with dodging. If you dodge too many times, then you will have a longer cooldown, which means you can get hit more. It's insane. They added some new characters. Daisy is in there. Fucking Ridley, who everyone has been asking for forever, is now finally in the game. They're adding some new stages. All the characters from every single Smash Brothers, including Snake, Pichu, Young Link, are now in the game. The freaking Ice Climbers, who had to be taken out because of the 3DS. Fuck you, 3DS. Now they're back. It's wild. And Super Smash Brothers, even if Nintendo had nothing except Super Smash Brothers, in my opinion, they still have won E3. And I don't think anyone has come close to beating them in the past couple of years. So, with that being said, those were most hyped games of E3 2018. Let me know what you guys thought. I just wanted to do some hype shit because I've seen a lot of people making these long, boring videos about games that no one really cares about. So I just wanted to get cut to the just straight to the point with all the games that I am most excited for. If I didn't include anything, let me know what if I didn't include anything on my list that you're hype about, please comment it. Let me know what games you're excited about, because I am always ready to play some new motherfucking video games. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. So thank you guys for watching, and bye. Peace.